Our next presenter is arrived. Florian, I see your name. Are you here? Fantastic. Welcome to Gift, Florian. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. Am I saying your name right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. My name's Erin, and it's a treat to have the honor to introduce you today. I understand that today you are going to share with us an award-winning invention. Is that right?
Yeah. And then it also has a patent pending. So
A patent pending,
yeah.
award-winning invention. Well, I am not worthy of taking up any more time here. I am very privileged to introduce that you are the National Young Visionary Award winning in 2019, runner-up for the National Invention Convention. You're in your how old are you?
14.
Oh, come on. So what's ahead? I can't wait. Tell us where you are now. Take it away, and I'll be tracking questions in YouTube.
Okay.
Looking forward to hearing.
Okay, share screen here. And then oops. Give me a second here, and then I think you can see my screen. Okay. So charge air, making the world a greener place. This is not working. Okay, there we go. So today's agenda, electric cars are actually not green. So that's what we're going to cover first. And then the invention process that I went through, plus the results of like basically the awards that I got. And then the future, where's the charger going, and the product impact. So electric cars, not so green.
Sorry to interrupt, Florian. Do you mind tilting your camera a bit so that we can see your entire face?
Oh.
Thanks so much, my friend.
So electric cars actually get their electricity from power plants that burn fossil fuels, and 28% of greenhouse gas emissions actually come from fossil fuels that are used to generate electricity. And since most people are switching to electric cars now, demand will soon be driven up. And the effects of greenhouse gases, you have like extreme weather, and then food supply, like droughts, like the food supply will go down, food supply shortages, and then increased wildfires. And then my invention process. So when I was 6 years old, I actually came up with the charge air, and then I left it until 8th grade. But I will talk about the 8th grade part of it later. So I saw an electric car driving down the road, and earlier that day, we passed by a wind turbine farm, and I was just like, why can't they just put one of those on an electric car to charge it? And that's when in 8th grade, I ended up having a project, or invention convention, in other words, for STEAM class. And I actually changed it to design a phone because I thought we had to actually make it feasible. But in like then I realized that we can actually just present a concept that will later on be feasible. So I took it back to the original, as it will have a greater impact on the world. So the prototype. The original prototype could not rotate, and I actually ended up testing it with a hand dryer. So what happened was I had like a DC motor that was this big in it, and then 2 wires and an LED at the end. And I would put the DC motor and the prop underneath the hand dryer, and the prop span and the LED lit up. And that's when I knew that the concept could actually become a reality. So here's the original prototype right there that I went to state with. And at the bottom, you can see it's a PVC base. And then the middle, I don't know if you can see the picture. It's like bad graphics, it's pixely. But basically, it was cardboard wrapped in duct tape for the stock of it. And then you had the hub, where the DC motor was, and that was made out of cardboard. So here, I actually ended up putting my design on top of a Tesla just to show the proof of concept, and I soldered a USB cord onto it so it could charge my phone. And how I actually ended up testing it was my dad drove and I took it out of the sunroof and it charged my phone while we were moving. So what I ended up doing was I edited the PVC base a little bit and then I added a ball bearing so it could spin around, and the stock is now made of PVC in this picture. And I added a foam board wind vane. So while the car is driving, let's say if there's a side wind, the propeller spins, generating electricity more efficiently because it like rotates at like this angle if the wind is coming from the side. Okay, so results. I got first in the energy category at state, which actually came with a scholarship. I believe it was like 1,400. And then I got the Young Visionary Award at Nationals. I went on 2 news channels, one Albanian one, and then I also went on a Chicago one, basically NBC, I think. Yeah, it was NBC. So I met Art Normand and actually got to like go on his, I guess, show, like his time for the news channel slot. And then the radio show, I went on WBB. I think that's BBM right there. I don't really listen to them, but then I took a tour of United Technologies, which awarded me the Young Visionary Award at Nationals. And I ended up making my own logo, and I believe I have it right here. They 3D printed a prop for me, and we ended up testing more efficient like propeller designs, because what I have in the picture right there, you can see me holding up my certificate and then the charge air behind it. What I have right there is actually a hobby propeller, like the type that you put on remote control airplanes. And then the future. Where's the charge air going? Well, right now I have a patent pending, and then we ended up making some design changes, which now it's like a tube, and then the charge air is inside it, and the tube is like integrated into the roof. So it got rid of the spinning aspect, but that's okay, as it's now like more efficient. So product impact of the charger will change the world. So it will stop that demand, the electricity demand, from growing, and then it can also cut down on 20 to 29% of greenhouse emissions made by the transportation industry. And that was it.
Wow. Florian, thank you so much for sharing this practical and innovative pitch and prototype invention with us today. And Arturo, thank you for coming in also to ask some questions. Florian, I'll be honest, you said something early in your presentation that I wanted to inquire further about. You mentioned that you have something called STEAM class. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm all the way in Canada, so perhaps it's because we are so far removed. That's a joke. We're very connected. What do you learn in STEAM class?
It's basically an engineering course. We did PLTW, and then PLTW is Project Lead Away, and it's just like a ton of coding, and I think it included soldering.
Wow.
And then I did Invention Convention STEAM class, which I had to actually go through the school invention convention, which like I presented in front of a ton of teachers, and then they voted for like the best inventions, and they sent like the top 5 to state.
Fantastic. It's really exciting, I have to say, as somebody who works in education, to hear about different models for teaching our students and ways to inspire innovation and invention. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Arturo, do you have any questions for Florian about his amazing invention,
Yeah.
perhaps?
Yeah. First of all, congratulations. I do really
Thank you.
foresee like a bright future in not only as an inventor, but perhaps as a game changer. And I think that those are the things that are like really needed right now. We need to find like to make like redefine the rules for doing things. You started your presentation awesomely by saying, electric cars are not really that green. In something that was originally supposed to be like a solution, there may be a potential like challenge to solve, and you're addressing that. So this is the first thing that I must recognize that you did brilliant, and I think it's like the basis of your awesome project. My question here also, like as a let's say as a colleague engineer, as a colleague inventor, like have you thought of like right now? I know you're in patent pending, which is awesome. Congratulations on that. But have you thought on what challenges are you going to need to face in order to escalate? Because I mean, your project will need some adjustments when it goes like massive.
Yeah.
Are you already thinking about those adaptations?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that I added in a gear ratio in the final design of it, so it like produces more electricity. So it's like the propeller spins and then the gears.
And have you determined like the theoretical efficiency of that you want to achieve?
I have not determined that, but that is basically the next step after I get the patent.
Okay, yeah, great, great, awesome. I look forward doing that. I hope I'm sure that we're going to see like great things out of this initiative, and uh, well, I hope that you're also willing to share with everyone.
Florian, I have to ask you because you are on a global platform right now with a massive megaphone speaking to the world. And there are people who are educators, there are peers out there who are young inventors like you. What are you looking for in terms of support or network as you step into these future plans with your invention? How could the people on YouTube who are watching this, or perhaps the people who have helped plan gift or the other presenters, how could we help you?
Just basically spread the word that electric cars aren't really green. Because a lot of people, they act like it's the solution to our gasoline car problem and the emissions from them, but it's not. It's only going to drive up demand for electricity.
Well, actually, I think you're hitting like a small nail that everybody like avoids. And one thing that we should consider is that there's no such thing as one definitive answer. So
Yeah.
so actually, it's very 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 dangerous, and I get this as a reflection. And right now, that is really easy to propagate like information through social media and all of that.
Yeah,
People just buy things and take for granted things, and as if it was an absolute truth. And
yeah,
what you're proposing is something like really important. Like yeah, they're good, but how are you going to handle like the production of electricity? If you address that with traditional ways, well, you're not solving anything. You may as well just like make it worse. Like originally, when people thought that if you open a refrigerator, you could cool down the kitchen on a hot day. I mean, no, it will eventually make it like hotter. So there's no such thing as a one single answer. And I think that you're teaching us something, Florian, that is very important, that you need to think like beyond that,
Yeah.
find like other corners to the rectangle. So it's not only four of them, but you're doing that. Congratulations.
thank you so much, Florian, for your thoughtful work and incredibly inspiring presentation, and wish you all the best with the next chapter of this Charge Air journey. How can we follow along? Where can we find you?
I don't have like a website right now, but I could possibly build one.
Okay, well, we'll stay tuned for that. Keep up the great work. Thank you for
But before
being
we end
here.
here, have like the original base of the Charge Air. The rest of the Charge Air kind of got destroyed during the traveling process, but Let me see here. Yeah. Basically, here's the base of PVC, and then you have the ball bearing, and then 2 nuts, and yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that with us. So cool to see it IRL, in real life, virtual.
Okay, well, thank you
Amazing.
for having me.
A delight. We can't wait to hear about the further developments and future gifts or new inventions that you uncover in the future. So thank you.
Thank you.